Hello, my name is Zach Tucker, and this is my presentation for the job interview for the database admin position I'm applying for. And the project I've been working on is my e-commerce store for buying musical instruments. I just want to prove my knowledge of how it all works. When you first set it up, you have to make the e-com store folder, and we have all these subfolders underneath. And within our settings file, we have the apps that we will use for certain pages. This is my admin page, and this is for the catalog, which will define our products and our categories. And this is the shopping cart, where the user will put their items in a shopping cart and be able to add, remove, and update their cart, those are pretty fundamental in any e-commerce website. So this is the catalog folder that we had, and the admin.py. This allows the admin page to be formed where we can add products through an admin interface. Instead of coding them straight in, this creates a form that the administrator can use, and throughout the certain fields he or she can add categories and products. And then again, this is the form that we'll be able to add products to: guitars, cymbals, and drums. And then within a Django framework, you define tables by defining them as classes and giving them fields instead of coding them out in instead of doing like a create table or a create database type of functionality. And we also have the cart folder, which contains the cart.py, which defines the functions on how to update a cart, which is add an item, or to remove a cart, and then to define the subtotal. Those are the three functions that the cart.py file will use. And then just like in the catalog, we have the models.py and underneath the cart folder, which makes a cart items table in the database that will contain these information: the cart ID, then the day added, the quantity, and the product. Also, the url.py file maps a URL request, and it'll take the user to the certain page depending on where the URL is at, and these define what somebody could type into the URL, and it'll take them to their desired part of the website. And lastly, we had a static file which contained CSS, which defined like where our text alignment, the colors, the font, an error list, just pretty much how the website and the pages are going to be presented as far as our artistic attributes are concerned. So this is the home page of my eJam store, and you can see that we have three categories I defined to the admin interface. And when you click on the symbol, you get two products: a crash and a ride symbol. And let's say the user wanted to buy a ride symbol. You can update the quantity to 3. You can hit the add to cart button, and this is the cart HTML page, where this is your shopping cart, and these are the functions that we talked about with the update and remove. So if I wanted to update and get 3 more of the guitars, you're going to see that the price changes. And if you want to remove, you can do that too, and you can remove. And that's how those functions work that I showed in the cart file. And also the URL, if I wanted to look at the admin page, you can see this is the admin page where I can add groups, users, categories, and products, where I can just go through the interface and fill in the necessary fields. And this is a little diagram that I referenced from a class I took this year. And essentially, the web user is going to send a request to the web server, which in this case it was a Django server. And within the Django server, you've got a URL revolver, which is the URL.py file, and the views.view file, which is related to the template file. And this is what the user is going to see when they're clicking on the items and whatnot. And then the web server, based on what the web user is going to do, is going to send commands to the database, like select Stratocaster from the product table with this quantity, and then it's going to send it back to the user so they can see their product. So you can very much just, a web user send a request to the web server, a web server is going to send a request to the database server, The database server is going to take the data and compile it to the specific demands, and then it's going to make its way back to the web user. And then the database admin, of course, can add and change things to the database as necessary. This is my brief description of the web architecture application. Thank you for watching. Lastly, just real quick, I wanted to demonstrate my flat pages. You define it in the installed apps, the line of code, and then you define it in the middle flashware right here. Then when you run the syncdb command, it creates the contact page or the flat pages page right here where I can add flat pages. Thank you very much.